Yo, what's up? What the is happening, bro? Oh, oh. Jesus Christ. Boys. Sick. Jesus Christ.
To great music, just taking a break from all the busyness. You deserve this. But wait a minute, is this an ad interrupting your me time? Yes, yes, it is. Upgrade to YouTube Music Premium on your app or online for ad free music. That
No.
means more of this and absolutely no more of me. Sorry for the whole
No.
interrupting your peace thing. Get a 1 month trial on us. Terms and
No.
conditions apply.
I'm No. Bitch, no. This is the type of people we have. Motherfucking Jesus Christ, dude. Feels so good, dude. Oh my god. Actually sleeping? Oh, fuck. Man hasn't beat his meat in 4 days. Sleeping feels like a heaven, dude. Oh, what's up? What's up? What's up? Shades of love, shades of love. Someone is ringing someone's door. Should probably close this thing, huh? Smoking random, my man. Feels so good sleeping, bro. Ooh. Okay, it streamed till 5 hours, right? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm gonna probably play some Undertale. That's what I was thinking. Ah, ooh, ouch. And the way it was, I just the shades of us, shades of fun. Some of the motherfuckers are here. Epidemic sounds. Piece of shits. I'm just kidding. Okay. Oi, bro. We're sleeping in it. The streaming's back. Um, I don't know. Let me join and shit. Oh wait, that was the worst action. No. 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 That was the worst impression I ever done, dude. Probably the worst. Well, you cried so hard, dude. I don't even know what to say about it. Oh my god. Don't make me cry again. No. Back up again. Undertale. Undertale. Then Minecraft. And Raleigh Target stories. Target school time. Stories. Shades of blue. That's just the shades of us. I think it ended 1 hour ago, I guess. It's back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Radio content, adult content. No, I don't make adult content, you asshole. I make normal content. But normal. Just because someone's adult, they don't make adult content. Okay. Motherfuckers out here. Oh, I don't like fucking clowns being like 23, 24. acting like clowns on the internet. I'm doing a better job than that at least. If I'm being honest. Oh, oh, mom. Jesus Christ, dude. Alright, just give me a second now. I'm gonna set up everything. I'm back. I'm back. Ma. Um, Dip, look. Baby. Oh, oh, fuck. It's just a long thing. Please just don't tell me that I have got. No, I don't think so. I have got any. Bye bye. Undertale, let's go. Oh. Undertale. People who hate this game hate humanity in general. Like, hate their own life. It's probably the best game I've ever played, dude. Okay, just give me a second. I'm gonna wash my face. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Fuck's sake. Did you hear what they said? What they just said? They said a human wearing a stripped shirt will come through. I heard that they hate spiders. No, I don't. I heard they love to stomp on them. What? I heard that they like to tear their legs off. Oh, who said these things? What? I heard that they're awfully stingy with their money. You think your taste is too refined for our pastries, don't you, dearie? I disagree with that notion, but I don't. They're damn expensive, you dumb bitch. I think your taste is exactly what the next batch needs. Not gonna. What? I think this purple is better on this. Grab it a straightforward easy, easy. 69 baby. Go. Let me go. Don't be silly. Silly. Silly goose spider. You thought, bitch. Whoa! 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 tidy up the web around you. That's kind of fucked up, you know, if you think about it. Don't lose hope. Why not? How am I supposed to get out of here? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, sorry. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. A certain stingy human hates spiders. No, I don't. Purple looks better. Man, bitch. Why so big? You should be proud of it. 70, let's go. Let me go to this city. Hey, shut up, okay? Thousand level. Breakfast and have fun. Spider. how to be this thing, because I really don't know. I really wanna Undertale Spider Fight. Okay, go in develop. Wait, what? Why is Alright, I got it. I'm just gonna. Which game is this? It's Undertale. We Gucci, we Gucci. Okay, fuck, 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 Stevie Mercy, man. I said this stinky human hates spiders. I don't hate spiders. Spell me message. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Doesn't. Make Have fun, you two. Chill, 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 chill. Famous, famous. This is pure chaos. What is this? Ooh, nice, nice, nice. Spare me, missus. Oh, it's nice time, isn't it? Oh, I forgot to feed my pet. That money, the spider clans can finally be reunited. Oh, can I go back in time? Hey man, please help me out, bro. Help me out, help me out. Hey yo, this level is fucking retarded, dude. Jesus Christ. How am I supposed to beat this? 10 minutes left on Ludwig stream. Sheesh. I don't think it's gonna stay at 10 minutes, dude. He's gonna go for 30 minutes straight, 30 days. He's gonna go for the his cap period. And I think even he knows that. Spare me. Say determined, my man. Determined. Mercy. Mercy on me. The music is dope, man. You're right. Oh, shit, shit, shit. Have mercy on me. Let's go. Spare me. One HP. One HP. Feel like crying, dude. Help me out. Boys. How do I beat this bitch? Help me out. Help me out. Oni-chan. Chalo sir. It's gonna take a while. Give me a second, okay? Just take a moment. Wait, what? 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 Dude, I just saw a tutorial. It's so easy. Okay, I have to go here, and just keep trying for like 6 minutes. Hey Google. Hey Google. Set an alarm for 6 minutes.
6 p.m. Set.
No, hey Google. Set a timer to 6 minutes.
Alright, 6 minutes. Starting now.
We just have to survive for 6 minutes, boys. 6 minutes. What's so funny about it, huh? dude. Jesus Christ. I'm done. Let's play some Minecraft or something, dude. Jesus. Uh, can't have it. I can't have it. Can I, Spider? Filthy bitch. Six minutes been a web intro. And I'm dead. You know what? Let me just make some food, man. I'm hungry. Oh. Bam, 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 ba-da-da-da-da. Just give me a second, huh? Need to make some Maggie. Fuck it, I'm hungry as fuck. I'm gonna make some food and then we'll try again. Uh huh. Just gonna put this. Blip, 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 blip. Fuck off. Alright,
The new Samsung Galaxy S21.
shut up! Unpause and block. Thank you. I had enough. Bitches. Hey. It's eating time. Food time. Food. Fuck, I'm hungry, dude. Jesus Christ. Ah, hungry as frick. Jesus. Just made me some Maggie. I'm feeling good. What's up, Cope's husband? Rickroll, but it's lo-fi. Shut up. Shut up, punk. Kiss my tits, punk. So what's this? Something or something and something. Okay, sounds good. Hello. Hey dope. What's up? Sorry, just give me a second now. It's food time. After food, we'll play some Undertale, some Minecraft or something. Until then, let's watch this random video. Next 4. I'm gonna mute this just. Okay, Raw's Burger, I think it's non-copyrighted.
The internet can be a grim place.
Mm-hmm.
Surely you don't need someone like me to tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Videos, live streams, works of art, posts,
Hey,
and
that's
pages
us.
about disturbing events that have happened in our reality are nothing but a Google search away.
What?
Underneath the no commentary long plays and the fast lane truck drag racing videos exists a vast ocean of eerie content that'll surely get you thinking, and just might keep you up at night. Welcome back to Disturbing.
Sorry. Give me a second now. I'm setting up things.
Things, your one-stop shop for bite-sized, eerie finds that I've recently discovered online. This is episode 12, so if this is your first exposure to this series, be sure to head over to the playlist down below for hours of further content to envelop yourself into.
Okay.
Without further ado, it's time, once again, to dive into 5 more hand-picked and disturbing things from around the internet. Let's set the mood.
Wait, this is the.
On the internet, there exists an album
That's the-
by
oh,
the
yeah.
name of Everywhere at the End of Time.
I know this.
It was created in 2016 by a musical artist named James Leyland Kirby, also known by his stage name,
the Caretaker.
The Caretaker. While I'm aware that on this show,
Dude,
I'm
I
primarily
love this album, dude. I bet my left nut. If you hear the entire album, if you don't cry, I'll donate my left nut, dude. I'm telling you, it's so good, so good. I think I can play it. I don't think it's copyrighted.
cover real-world disturbing events. I wanted to discuss this piece of art since it perfectly encapsulates the disturbing reality of over 44 million people that are alive today. As you might have guessed by now, the album's an artistic expression of the numerous stages of dementia and how it slowly overtakes the mind, sending it spiraling into a wormhole of forgetfulness, twisted by a reality that they stray further and further from recognizing. The 6-hour album
I
itself
wrote a
starts
film
off
inspired by
ordinary.
this. Bet.
It's cheery,
Bet.
calm,
Bet.
and invokes a sense
You know
of
what?
comfort.
Let's see, dude. It's a 6-hour album, okay? It's a 6-hour album. Listen to the entire thing, morning to night, okay? I bet my left nut, dude. I'm telling you. I'll donate it. I can just like take. I can, dude. If you don't cry, I'ma fucking zip my own fucking nuts, dude. It's so like, dude. The actually there is a reason why you'll cry, okay? Because the thing is he uses sample, right? And he slowly, like, you know, he edits in a way like वो distort करता जाएगा, and your mind is listening to the entire thing 6 hours, right? And the music he uses is very nostalgic, like, you know, from the start, every song is very nostalgic, and it brings you back your memories. And when it's slowly starting, when it slowly starts, distorting, like you'll feel like you're losing those memories. It actually happened to me, dude. I heard it like thrice or 4 times. I was playing Minecraft and dude, this album, sheesh, oh my fucking god, it was a joke, dude. You know what? How much? Okay, wait. Give it a second. Yeah, it's good. It's running good now. Okay. Let's go.
As the hours pass and it progresses, Leyland subtly morphs not only the overall tone, but each chord progression and tune into something that hardly resembles what you were listening to a mere half-hour earlier. The descriptions from his YouTube video further exemplify the troubles that dementia patients face, too. Stage 1 is described as the first signs of memory loss. It's a stage that's most like a beautiful daydream, the glory of old age and recollection, the last of the great days. Stage 2 encapsulates denial.
By the way, in future, I wrote a film, okay? I wanted to do that film. The film is inspired by this entire album. I wanted to do that film for the final project. But my teacher wouldn't let me because he said it's too artistic, for a college project. I was like, dude, are you a fucking retard? It's one of the best stories I've ever written. And for that, I had to change like the entire script, and I had to make like, a commercialist film for my final project, which is also good. But it's like this. I only wanted to make this one, dude. But unfortunately, I had to, turn my back on the project.
Made to
But I
remember,
have it
so
on the
memories
shelf.
can be more
It's a
long
short
form,
film.
with a
I'm
little
gonna
more
make it.
deterioration in quality. The overall personal mood is generally lower than the first stage, and at a point before confusion starts setting in. Stage 3 approaches the metaphorical inflection point. It's described as the phase where some of the last coherent memories exist before confusion fully rolls in and the gray mists form and fade away. Finest moments have been remembered, but the musical flow in places is more confused and tangled. As we progress, some singular memories become more disturbed, isolated, broken, and distant. These are the last embers of awareness before we enter the post-awareness stages. At the 2-hour and 8-minute mark, the album takes a stark tonal shift as it begins to exemplify the post-awareness stages, the spot where reality becomes a bleak, confusing mess, and where little seems to make sense. It's described as the point where serenity and the ability to recall singular memories gives way to confusions and horror. It's the beginning of an eventual process where all memories begin to become more fluid through entanglements, repetition, and rupture. Stage 5. More extreme entanglements, repetition, and rupture can give way to calmer moments. The unfamiliar may sound and feel familiar. Time is often spent only in the moment, leading to isolation. In stage 6, one without description.
Nah, it's not a scary stuff. It's more interesting. Dude, by the way, Pincho, कल रात क्या हुआ पता है? Yesterday, we were watching those scary videos, right? And it was actually intense, by the way. The last video I saw was Kumstone was, right? The tunnel wala. And I went to take a shit. As I came back, power chala gaya. Pure flat mein, like not even in the flat, like entire area, power cut, right? मेरे फ़ोन में 4% बैटरी था 4% and I didn't know what to do. Like I can't use my phone, it'll die. I don't know when it'll come back, right? So I was sitting over there, I was reading this book, Hippie, okay, and I didn't have any headphones. Usually I put up headphones and stuff, but I didn't have any headphones. I was hearing every single sound there is, like road पे, like you know, छोटा पत्थर गिरता है, you know, उसका भी sound आ रहा था मेरे को, and I was shitting myself, dude. It was pitch black in the room, pitch black. I was shitting myself. But we're gonna watch today too. We're gonna watch some scary shit today too. It was really really funny last night. Let's watch this.
I lost my great-grandmother.
Why would someone listen to this while knowing it's gonna give them nothing but pain? No, it's not gonna give you pain. See, it's not gonna cause you pain. It's like, see, if you're watching a film, right? Okay, it's a sad film, and you know it's gonna make you cry. Wouldn't you listen to it? Sorry, wouldn't you watch the film though? Yeah. It's an artistic, you know, presentation, right? It doesn't give you pain. It gives you more of like a how can I say this? It's gonna make you sad. That's 100% true. It's not gonna make you like, you know, forget your memories or something like that. It's not gonna happen. That's not possible. But like, you know, but the thing is, you will forget few things what you were thinking before though. That's true. Because the thing is, key the duration of it, right? 6 hours period. Like you forget few things, like what were you thinking, like the memories you're creating, like the false nostalgia, because obviously you don't live in like 80s or something, right? So you can't have memories from that age. So what your brain does is it creates memories for you to, like, you know, make you feel connected with that music, right? Yeah. Shut up. Okay. So it makes you feel connected with that music, and as the 6 hours go on, like your mind gets distracted by that old you know, like distortion and stuff, right? So you keep forgetting what the memory was the first time that you had, you know, the first song of the album. You'll forget what memory you had at that time, like what nostalgia you had at that time. Like after a while you can recollect everything, obviously, but like at that moment you'll forget it.
To dementia just a few years ago, so this album really resonated with me. As a child, I remember her being full of life, always willing to go the extra mile to evoke a sense of union and love, whether it was through her cooking, her stories, or even her presence at family gatherings. She was always someone that welcomed us with open arms when we go visit her. She lived alone. My great-grandfather had passed when I was very young, so unfortunately, memories of him are vague. But I do remember him as being hardworking and an honest man.
Dude.
Over the years, I
I
didn't
heard that
fully
guy
understand
too.
it, but I slowly began to
Twice
notice
or
that
thrice,
something
I
was
guess.
off.
I was
One
playing
year we had gone to
Minecraft at
visit
that
her,
time.
and she didn't
And
quite
it was
remember myself or my
so
siblings.
better. You know what
It's
happened?
a strange feeling when a family member
Listen.
addresses you with a respectful but off-putting,
Hey,
and you are lying.
hey, shh, shh, shh. You know what happened? I was playing Minecraft when I was listening to the entire album, right? The thing was, Minecraft is such a game that, like, Minecraft is already nostalgic, right? It's already nostalgic. It makes you feel things, and like it makes you like you're living somewhere. Like if you're playing for a long period of time, it makes you feel like the Minecraft world is your world. You know, because it's a simulation, right? The game is a real life fantasy simulation. You know, so I was listening to the entire thing. I was creating memories from Minecraft at that time. Like when I was playing Minecraft, listening to the entire album, I was creating memories like past memories, you know, in Minecraft. As it slowly started, you know, distorted. By the end of it, I was like, "Kid, fuck, this is this is fun." The first time I cried during a movie was Kimi no Nawa. Dude, Kimi no Nawa was a great film, dude. Like Kimi no Nawa is probably the first anime I ever cried to. The second one was Weathering with You, and I've seen plenty. Spirited Away is also a great anime, but like Kimi no Nawa, I think I got that recommendation from Pewds. He took a picture in the same place. So back then, funny story. I used to have a girlfriend. She gave me a flower pot. Okay, it used to be right here. I used to call the flower pot Mitsuha. I mean, kind of lovely name, but like now we broke up. But yeah, cute shit, right?
And
Also, the Weathering with You. Me and my ex-girlfriend went to the film together in India, like in Pune, and I think that was the first anime film that was aired in Pune, and I was crying. I was like holding the hand, and I was like crying. I don't want this. Why is this happening to me?
that I'm sure most relatives of dementia patients are accustomed to.
Such a bitch.
And then I realized what it
Cute
was.
shit. LMAO.
Slowly, through subsequent visits, I began to notice things, like sticky notes, explaining basic tasks like remembering to shut off light switches, to close the front door, to turn off the water, how to flush the toilet. Family photos were labeled, and her once lively personality had slowly faded away. She was trying so hard to be her, but this condition simply wouldn't let her. Bottom line, everywhere at the end of time is a disturbingly bleak looking glass into the human mind. While it isn't creepy footage or a disturbing phone call, this single piece of art is one of the most real, artistic expressions of a human condition that I've ever encountered. Life is fragile and beautiful, and few things have stuck with me more than this. If you have a story about a friend or relative that you'd like to share, feel free to leave it in a comment. While they might have forgotten due to circumstances out of their control, they surely won't be.
Music, dude. What's the second Nexpo? I'm gonna go do trigonometry now. Alright, bye bye.
On the 22nd of May 2011, a devastating EF5 rated tornado ripped through the city of Joplin, Missouri. It lasted around 38 minutes and reached wind speeds of more or less 200 miles per hour. The aftermath photos are grim. And so too are the videos.
80% is more important than my life right now. Lol.
For the past couple of years now, I've gotten a few recommendations about covering this upload. And to be honest, I never actually sat down and watched the entire thing all the way through. Life and such just got in the way. But I digress. The video is titled First Person Video of Joplin, Missouri Tornado, created by a user named IzelSG and uploaded on the very same day that this tragedy occurred. Their description claims that they took this footage inside of a Fast Trip gas station on East 20th Street. Initially, they hid in the back of the store before taking refuge inside of the storage fridge. While there aren't many visuals within their recording, the audio conveys everything you need to know about being caught in a storm of this magnitude. Have a listen.
At least probably 10 or 12.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's probably 18 or 19.
What the fuck is happening, dude?
Yeah, they said there was one. They said there was one on the ground at 7th and Range Line.
Yeah, but that's the one coming. This way on 20th.
Yeah. No, they haven't yet. The sirens aren't going.
Yeah, they did.
What?
Yeah, they
Dude,
did. That's as they we were
pretty
coming
crazy.
here.
This is getting real.
Go with them in.
Someone in. We need it.
Open stuff's breaking in the back.
Yeah, I know.
Can we go in the cooler?
I'm trying to put less weight on him though.
Ma'am, are you okay? I'm okay.
Who's right here?
Dude, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? I was actually worried, dude. Jesus. There were kids in there. Fuck. I'm just gonna wash my mouth and shit. Just give me a second.
Thankfully, everyone in that store was okay that day. The same, unfortunately, couldn't be said about the others that came face to face with it. In total,
what was that?
the storm took 158 lives
storm,
and left over
so-
1,100 people injured. Considering the fact that the tornado sirens fired off just 20 minutes before this happened, it's safe to assume that time to escape was minuscule. The incident in Joplin is haunting, and to date, it's cemented into history as the fourth deadliest tornado on record.
Still here,
Hopefully, 10 years later, they've recovered successfully and never, ever have to endure something close to this magnitude ever again.
That's fucked, dude. Damn.
There's one coffee made. We've
In 2012, a man had killed himself by the name of Israel Keys. He was a serial killer, an arsonist, a bank robber, one of the worst types of people that exist. The reason for his suicide was because he was caught after a kidnapping and ransom attempt over 18-year-old Samantha Koenig of Anchorage, Alaska. This is his ransom photo proving that she was alive, to which, in exchange, he had demanded $30,000. Except, in this photo, Samantha Koenig wasn't alive.
What the fuck? Dude, she
Let's
looks
back up.
alive.
On the 1st of February 2012, Koenig was working at a local coffee booth. She can be seen on this CCTV footage where everything seems fine. About 2 minutes into it, however, we can observe someone approach the window, to which she reacts with unease. Afterwards, we can see her hastily shut the lights off before carrying out his demands in the moment. After some back and forth, she opens the register and can be seen taking out cash to give to the man. He then demands that she kneels before he enters through the window. And a few minutes later, he proceeds to escort her out of the trailer. After this moment, she was never seen again. As it turned out, her final moments were grim. Later that night, and back at his home, it was reported that he sexually assaulted her, robbed her of everything she had, killed her, and placed her corpse in a shed. Even more bizarrely, the day after, he took off to New Orleans where he went on a 2-week cruise with his family. The entire time, she was left there and was never found. 2 weeks later, and he comes back from his trip. Her body's still in place, and so Keys dresses her up with makeup and sews her eyes open for a photo with a recent issue of the local newspaper. He did this to invoke the belief that she was still alive, and like we established prior, he had put a $30,000 price tag on her. While this facade was happening, in reality, he had dumped her body in Matanuska Lake, a few miles north of Anchorage. Israel Keys was later caught. However, it wasn't where you'd expect. As it turned out, he'd taken off towards the mainland US, utilizing Koenig's bank card for cash withdrawals as if nothing happened. Because of this, police were able to follow his trail and eventually tracked him down to a Cotton Patch Cafe in Lufkin, Texas. It was the morning of March 12th when Texas Ranger Stephen Rayburn would perform the arrest, and afterwards, Keys was promptly sent back to Alaska, where he eventually confessed to not only this act, but numerous others. By December of that year, though, he would be found dead in his jail cell. He had slit his wrists and tried to strangle himself, leaving behind his own corpse and various notes and drawings made in blood under his cell bed. To this day, police are still frustrated by this, as with his life went countless questions unanswered. Samantha Koenig was just an ordinary person working her job, as we all do. She didn't sign up for this. She didn't provoke anyone, and she sure as hell didn't deserve the fate that she was given. What she thought would be just another night at work had devolved into a surreal night of hell. A night of hell that led to an injustice. And, frustratingly, there's nothing that anyone can do to ever bring her back. On August 28th of 2009, a California Highway Patrol officer named Mark Saylor was on a drive in a Lexus sedan with his wife Cleofe, brother-in-law Chris, and daughter Mahala. They were heading northbound on California State Route 125 towards Mission Gorge Road in Santee. While the circumstances outlined appeared to be ordinary, little did they know that their vehicle would lead to this venture being their last. At around 7 p.m., a phone call was made to 911. It was from Chris, and he could be heard pleading for help since his car had malfunctioned. Have a listen.
911 emergency. What are you reporting?
Yeah, we're in a Lexus.
I'm sorry, your cell phone's cutting out.
We're going north 125.
Mm-hmm.
And our accelerator's stuck.
I'm sorry?
Our accelerator's stuck. We're on 125 and we're in lake.
Okay, northbound 125. Where are you passing?
We are passing, where are we passing? We're going 120, Mission Gorge. We're in trouble. We can't, there's no brake.
Okay.
Gorge, and freeway half mile.
Okay, and you don't have the ability to, like, turn the vehicle off or anything?
We're approaching an intersection. We're approaching an intersection.
Okay.
We're approaching intersection. Hold on. Pray.
Okay.
Oh, shoot. Oh.
Okay. Hello?
First tonight, we are hearing from the attorneys for both Bob Baker Lexus and the family of Officer Mark Saylor, who was killed along with his family in a fiery crash 1 year ago in Santee.
Today, Toyota announced it had settled the lawsuit with the Saylor family, but 10 News has learned.
As a result of this, everyone in that car lost their lives that night. The worst part about it is that the car wasn't even theirs. It was a loaner given to them by a nearby Lexus dealership. It was reported that the vehicle had reached a top speed of 120 miles per hour before crashing into a Ford Explorer and jumping off an embankment near the Mission Gorge Road intersection at the end of Highway 125. Witnesses claimed that the vehicle was thrown nearly 100 feet into the air before crashing into the ground and bursting into flames. After the incident, it was reported that the Explorer driver had suffered minor injuries and was promptly treated at a nearby hospital. For the family, it was believed that the accelerator had become stuck due to an engineering oversight in Lexus models that included rubber floor mats. After a myriad of other incidents related to this, Lexus eventually rolled out numerous recalls from the span of 2009 to 2011, most of which being related to the accelerator pedal. The sheer amount of issues in affected vehicles are staggering too. On your screen is a list of the recalls they'd sent out, and as you can see, a ton of them are related to the brakes or the accelerator pedal. By the end of it, over 5.2 million vehicles were affected, and in hindsight, it's safe to say that anyone driving a Lexus model from 2009 to 2011 were rightfully on edge. The families of the victims eventually filed numerous lawsuits against Toyota, and as a result, they eventually came to a $10 million settlement. No matter how you slice it though, no amount of money can bring someone back from a design failure that they had no control over. They didn't deserve to die that day, and his final 911 call will forever remain cemented into internet history as one of the most disturbing real-world examples of a simple weekend drive that shouldn't have ended the way it had.
It's just pure negligence, dude. It's just, honestly, it's just pure negligence. And the guy, no, the car, whoever made the car. Sheesh. That was so disturbing. Fuck. Would you put you on a trade? What?
It's 7:23 a.m. on the morning of September 29th of 2016. Passacack Valley Line Train 1614 departs the Spring Valley Station in New York, heading southbound for the Hoboken Station in New Jersey. One way, the trip takes about an hour by train, and on board that morning were an estimated 250 passengers. The ride itself is mostly okay, with nothing seeming awry. Time begins to pass, and train goers await the day of work ahead of them. 8:45 a.m. The train's approaching its destination. Being one of the busiest travel hubs in the region, Hoboken Station was lively as expected. The train approaches the terminal, and where it's typically required to stop, it doesn't. It maintains its full speed and crashes through the buffer stop at the end of the rail, causing passengers to be thrown throughout the cabin and forced into a manic frenzy with no clue on how to process it. We just kept going and going, no braking, no nothing.
Motherfuckers took a
Jamie
straight
Weatherhead
ride
Soul
here.
claims.
I'm not
The moment
letting you
feels like an
motherfuckers
eternity.
inside, okay?
At least
I'm not.
until gravity does what it does. The train comes to a halt past the rails and up against the terminal wall, and the normally busy and lively train station is now temporarily declared a disaster area. On this day, 114 passengers are injured and one loses their life. September 29th is now forever associated with the tragedy that should not have happened. While this event is tragic in and of itself, on the internet and through word of mouth, the mystery surrounding it is merely beginning to take root. Let's back up.
Good morning from the wires of Associated Press and the WKTV.
It's one day prior, the 28th. A central New York TV station named WKTV was broadcast on the usual 6 p.m. lineup. During a commercial break, however, something peculiar would overtake their station. Let's have a look.
Civil authorities have issued hazardous materials warning for the United States effective until September 29th, 2:16 Eastern Daylight Time. Commute on train may accept further instructions.
Civil authorities have issued a hazardous materials warning for the United States, effective until September 29th, 2:16 a.m. Could you, on a train? Interesting. Not only did they appear to be hacked, but of all things, it referenced a Dr. Seuss quote about a train. And the timing is striking. Immediately after, WKTV puts out numerous statements. From their Twitter. If you were watching our 6 p.m. newscast, you saw a hazardous materials warning message. There is no such warning. It was a technical error. And later that night, from their website. If you were watching our newscast around 6:17 p.m. or at 10:38 p.m., you may have seen a hazardous materials warning crawl across your screen. There is no such warning. The message was an automated test which was not intended for public display. This message originated from FEMA as a test and had the national location code in it. Tests should not have that code as it's automatically retransmitted. We've contacted the New York State Broadcasters Association, who administers the emergency alert system in New York. We're working with FEMA to resolve this. Our apologies for the confusion this may have caused. In total, there wasn't one, but 2 of these alerts. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find footage of them separately. However, it's safe to assume that they were either the exact same or very similar. Interestingly, if we pick apart their wording, WKTV is mostly pinning the blame on FEMA, the Government Disaster Relief Program. An interesting claim, but perhaps that's all it was. One day later, and the train crash occurs. WKTV releases yet another statement containing an update. FEMA replied that they did not send this out. They'll launch a full investigation into how their codes were hacked. WKTV seems to be the only target of this hack. For now, we've disabled the codes in our decoder that trigger this alert. If there's a real national alert, we'll still receive it from the local radio stations we're assigned to monitor. WKTV will cooperate fully with FEMA, providing information about our hardware, software, and internet access, and will provide log files from our devices. This information will be helpful to FEMA to track down the source of this hack. Oddly, around the same time that this was happening, other videos began to crop up showing strange alerts that had happened in places around the United States. While these are indeed strange and do hint at the possibility of a system-wide hack, the incident that occurred on WKTV was the only one of its kind to include this unusual Dr. Seuss quote. Unfortunately though, to this day, the origin and motive of why this happened or who did it has remained unsolved. Of all the entries I've covered thus far on disturbing things, this is one of the most bewildering. Understandably, since this occurred, conspiracy theories have cropped up all over the internet, theorizing on the potential of the train operator being complicit and entertaining the idea that the crash was somehow planned by some external party. While I personally don't subscribe to these, what I do find highly unusual is the timing, and I don't think I'll ever be able to shake that. An audible simulation, Mother Nature's wrath, a nightmarish abduction, a disturbing plea for help, and an eerie broadcast alert. The world can be a depressing, creepy, and disturbing place, and tonight's topics encapsulate that. It's the 23rd of February 2017. A criminal trespassing incident occurs in Billings Heights, Montana. Case number 17.12420. The local police department takes to Facebook soon after to ask for the public's help in tracking down a mysterious individual that, considering what he'd done, is every parent's worst nightmare. The Billings Police Department is asking for the public to be aware of an incident that took place last week in the Billings Heights. On the above date and time, officers responded to a possible burglary in progress. The female resident reported to officers that she observed a male subject in her infant daughter's bedroom on the baby monitor. The victim said she immediately went to her daughter's bedroom, removed her daughter, and left the residence. When officers arrived, the residence and neighborhood were searched, but the suspect was not located. The victim said that the baby monitor is synced to her cell phone. The baby monitor is motion activated and took the attached photo of the suspect, which alerted her cell phone. And that photo is this one. To date, this mysterious intruder has never been found. The world can be a depressing, creepy, and disturbing place, and tonight's topics encapsulated that. Back in November, I mentioned that I was discontinuing my Unnerving YouTube channels and Unnerving YouTube videos miniseries to a mixed response. I told you guys not to worry, and that's because what you're about to watch is its direct and far improved replacement. Welcome to episode 1 of Disturbing Things from Around the Internet. This is essentially a one-stop shop for creepy finds that I might have stumbled upon recently while browsing online. We'll dive into not only creepy things from YouTube, but from all over the net as well. Today, we're going to dive into 5 hand-picked and disturbing finds from the internet. The recent Hawaii missile scare is one of the most unsettling real-life occurrences to happen in a long time. Back in my Unnerving YouTube videos series, I included an entry about an emergency alert and how disturbing they sound. This is essentially that, but this time, it was for real. Hawaii's residents went into a state of panic following this broadcast, and there were all sorts of goodbyes being given due to the anticipation of all of their lives possibly being wiped out as time ticks closer and closer to the missile's estimated time of arrival, which was said to be just minutes from when the alert went live. Fortunately, this entire fiasco merely turned out to be a false alarm. The footage that residents took during the situation, however, is entirely disturbing. Take a look at some of it.
Missile threat to Hawaii. A missile may impact on land or sea within minutes. This is not a drill. If you are indoors, stay indoors. If you are outdoors, seek immediate shelter in a building.
If you're watching this video, that means I didn't make it because of the missile that's coming towards Hawaii. I just parted the last hole and I just hit the shiznik out of my ball. So, I love you all, but I'm playing golf. It's the last thing I'm gonna do.
A missile may impact on land or sea within minutes. This is not a drill. If you are indoors, stay indoors. If you are outdoors, seek immediate shelter in a building. Remain indoors well away from windows. If you are driving, pull safely to the side of the road and seek shelter in a building or lay on the floor. We will announce when the threat has ended. This is not
The sheer terror that comes with an emergency alert, coupled with the idea that these residents believed that they only had a few more minutes to live, really puts things into perspective here. Hawaii is such an isolated state, and if there ever truly were an event like this that were to happen, these people would have absolutely nowhere to go. This YouTube video showed up in my recommended feed a few months back, and I've seen it a couple of times since then. It involves a family's venture as a tornado rips through their house. It opens with the husband filming a tornado a short distance away, and after a few seconds, it's evident that the storm is moving straight towards them. He then proceeds with his wife to the closet under the stairs, and the terror that follows is much, much more real than anything out of a horror movie. Look at this.
Holy moly. All right. Holy shit. All right, I gotta go. I'm coming, honey. Shit, where you at, hon? God damn, it's bad. All right, steady. Oh my God. Okay, honey. Holy shit. Stay in. Oh, man. Oh. my God. Our house is freaking destroyed, Josie. Oh my God. Where's Autumn? Oh, I've never seen anything like it. Oh, shit.
The way that they kept their composure after an event like that is absolutely mind-boggling, and if that were me, I don't think I'd be able to stay that calm. The sounds of the tornado alone are enough to put a horrific image into our minds, and the aftermath of their home is nothing short of grim and depressing. This video isn't anything like a movie. It's genuine and unfiltered, and I can only hope that this family successfully recovered. No matter what kind of storm it is, this really is something that can happen to any of us, at any time. This is another Facebook post that went live on October 3rd. A user by the name of Terry made a post asking people if they heard the eerie radio broadcast that went live on nearly every station in Louisiana. She claimed that she couldn't find anything on the news regarding the matter, and that after reaching out to other individuals who posted videos of the same thing, determined that this was happening all over the US. This is what they heard. Now, it sounds like a distorted voice naming off states, and hearing it obviously raises alarm. Allegedly, according to radio broadcast stations, this was an emergency alert test that was sent out, and apparently this happens all the time. The stations claim that it's due to a difference in sampling rate from the raw broadcast to the radio station. If they're out of sync, it causes creepy distortion like you just heard. This is, of course, what the radio stations claim. What was actually being broadcasted, however, is to be determined. This was a very interesting thing to follow. Back in 2015, a Reddit post was made in the conspiracy subreddit by a user claiming that they lived very close to a supposed daycare that had an extremely strange look to it, and in all 5 years of them living there, have never seen a kid arrive or leave. As expected, this struck interest in Redditors, and people started throwing in suggestions for what it could be. Some claimed that it could be a money laundering center, while others suggested that it could be used for child trafficking. There was also, of course, a group that believed that this was simply a real daycare and that there's nothing more to see. Things got interesting though when one user named Deathship commented this: "I'm going to advise you guys to stop looking into this place." This just drove the interest in the building up even more. After looking into Deathship's background, they came to the consensus that he's potentially just a troll trying to scare people. However, that doesn't discount the other comments left by users claiming the same thing that the original poster did, that they live in the area and have never seen a kid come in or out in years. They also went to the Funtime Kids Care website and described it as being super sketchy and plain, with a bunch of stock images and a phone number. When people decided to call it, they were either sent a voicemail or a lady would answer in a very eerie tone before hanging up on them. One other user claimed that it's indeed a real daycare and that they used to be a mail carrier for that neighborhood. However, one part of their response was a little strange. They said that it is in fact full of kids, but every single time that they deliver mail, no matter the time of day, it would always be nap time. Pretty strange stuff, but that's not even the end of it. People took to Google Maps Street View to check out the place, and they determined that the windows to the daycare have been covered up for years and have hardly ever changed. One of the few instances of somebody being outside of the building is one snapshot that a user caught where someone is out in the backyard for some reason or another. This led to even more speculation, prompting people to check out the place in person, which quickly became a large problem. One Redditor claimed that they traveled to visit the daycare, and at night, when they got a glimpse inside, they saw nothing but a chair aimed at a TV, showing surveillance footage of another room. Of course, many other people visited the daycare, even during, quote, operating hours, to try to get a peek into their windows. This led to another large issue in itself regarding grown adults trespassing on a private property to peek into a window of a supposed daycare with supposed children. People even began taking photos of the few children that they saw outside the place. This inevitably led to an even larger issue, so police began to monitor the place and Redditors were urged to stay away. One person managed to get pictures of the inside, and it seemed pretty ordinary. After doing even more digging on the place, Redditors dug up the owner's name, and it's rumored that the building owner purchased the daycare for his mother to give her something to do with her time. Allegedly, she's been running the daycare for years, even though they have multiple violations on their state record. This is, of course, speculation and determinations from Reddit, so take these with a grain of salt. All in all, the general consensus is that this is indeed a normal daycare. A strange, eerie, and creepy one, but a daycare nonetheless. We just dove into 5 disturbing things from around the internet. I hope you guys enjoyed the concept of this, and if you have anything that you'd like me to look into, no matter what it is, for a future installment, please do let me know. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I love you all, and good night. Welcome back to Disturbing Things from Around the Internet. If you recall, this is my one-stop shop for bite-sized creepy finds that I've recently stumbled upon. Just last month, we covered a wide array of disturbing things, ranging from Facebook posts to Reddit conspiracies. Today will be no different. It's time to dive into 5 more hand-picked and disturbing things from the internet. Back in 2010, there existed a Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan forum called the Bloody Board. It seemed to have been thriving for quite a few years, with posts dating way back to 2004. Jamie Marsters, a play on the name James Marsters, an actor on the show, ran this forum that contained over 40,000 posts. Everything seems fine here, right? Well, the scope of things takes a pretty big 180 when you realize that the forum had only one active member, Jamie Marsters herself. Each of these conversations were simply her talking to herself, and the topics ranged anywhere from fan meetups to the show's schedule. The peculiar thing about this is the math that comes with it. To keep up with the number of topics that were found on the forum, Jamie would have to have posted once every 84 minutes, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for 6 years, alone. No matter her motive, it's just a little strange. Theories have been thrown up that Jamie is a crazy superfan, and others believe that this entire thing was run by a bot. This actually leads to my next point. Unfortunately, in October of 2010, an article called "The 7 Most Unintentionally Creepy Places on the Internet" was posted by the website Cracked, and as you might have guessed, this board was on that list. What ensued afterwards was an endless barrage of people storming the board, posting vulgarities, pornography, and other unrelated, undesirable content. It's estimated that a total of 36,753 people flooded the place in the short span of 24 hours. After logging in and being surprised with the endless barrage of posts, Jamie ended up shutting down the board, casting it into internet oblivion. It turns out that Jamie had used this forum as a sort of news hub for the show so she could keep up with articles about meetups and conventions. The thing is, how big of a fan do you really have to be to make 40,000 posts to yourself? In July of last year, a Facebook post was made by a user named Kiana who claimed to have had weird things happen to her for a while. She claims that about 3 years ago, "I took this photo and realized that there was a face in the background. People said that it was my younger sibling or someone else at home, and it wasn't. Even if it was, I was using front-facing flash, and dark-skinned people like me and my brother don't show up in the dark when using front-facing flash. Anyway, people thought it was a lie, and it never was. Little things happen here and there, like my lights shutting off when I knew I had them on, or things moving right in front of my eyes. I try to ignore them, but tonight, I just so happened to be recording what I thought was a cute video of me petting my cat, and then you see my cat jump." The photo in question is this. If you're unable to see what she's talking about in the circle, I've done some enhancing for you. Now, for the video. Whatever you make of this is up to you. In 1978, an Australian pilot named Fred Valentich was flying over the Bass Strait in Australia and ended up disappearing under mysterious circumstances. To give some quick background, Fred held a Class 4 instrument rating with over 150 hours of flight time. He was also known as a pretty big UFO enthusiast. He embarked on a nighttime training flight over a 125-mile span of the Bass Strait on October 21st, 1978. Midway through his flight, he contacted air traffic control about an aircraft that was accompanying him. He claimed that the craft was flying at about 1,000 feet above him and seemed to be taunting him. The disturbing part is, his last words from the transmission were, "It's not an aircraft." A recreation of the flight transcript has been made, and is as follows.
Delta Sierra Juliet. Is there any known traffic below 5,000 feet? No known traffic. Seems to be a large aircraft below 5,000 feet. What type of aircraft is it? I cannot confirm. It's 4 bright, seems to me like landing lights. Can you describe the aircraft? As it's flying past, it's a long shape. Cannot identify it. It has such speed. It's before me right now, Melbourne. How large would the object be? Seems like it's stationary. What it's doing right now is orbiting. The thing is just orbiting on top of me. It's It's also got a green light and a sort of metallic, like, it's shiny on the outside. It's just vanished. That strange aircraft's hovering on top of me again. It's hovering and it's not an aircraft.
Many theories have been made regarding what he was actually seeing. These theories range from an actual UFO sighting to the possibility of Fred becoming disoriented and flying upside down. The latter seems very possible given the fact that this occurred at nighttime. He could have very well been looking up at his own lights as they were reflected in the ocean. The one thing that unnerves me about this though is the fact that he made claims about it flying in front and behind him, and also that the lights he saw were green when his craft had no green lights at all. The entire incident is intriguing as all hell, and a solid explanation is yet to be given. In 2014, model and fashion designer Lauren Scott was found dead in her New York apartment. She died by hanging herself with an improvised satin noose. While this death is tragic, the incidents that followed were nothing short of chilling. Lauren was known for scheduling Facebook posts and tweets for her audience. After her confirmed death, her accounts were still sending out updates, and her PR team did little to stop it before any sort of backlash. The strangest part about this story lies with her scheduled Facebook post. Hours after her body was discovered, this image was published to her page showing dresses hanging from a tree. It shocked many people and also led them to believe that this was another celebrity death hoax. However, it wasn't. This was very real, and strangely, the image that she had scheduled to upload was, given the circumstances, nothing short of unnerving. There exists a channel that goes by Human Being 15 that has only one upload to date. In this 9-minute video, you're met with what initially seems like a random, ordinary person rummaging through some old notebooks and storage. Things begin to take a strange turn when you realize what this channel is trying to convey. Let's see if you can spot what's off about this before we go any further. Finally shown what's in one of the books. It's the phrases, "Please Mr. P. Diddy please respond," and "Brother Diddy please accept," over and over and over. Human Being 15 then goes forth to show us more of his stockpiled notebooks before the video ends. Allegedly, this video is a re-upload from their previous channel, namely titled Human Being 151. The creator would go by the name Insomniac and had over 1,000 videos showing this sort of behavior. His video titles ranged from things such as "Diddy Dear Diddy Please Read This" to "Diddy TV Official." There were even some that had song lyrics in the title, presumably to somehow gain his attention. According to the site Cracked, which we mentioned earlier, whom at the time had access to his endless library of videos, the content on Human Being 151's channel started with insanity from the very first video and went downhill from there. While the original channel has long been deleted, at least we have this re-upload which tells us all that we really need to know about the kind of guy Human Being was. Obviously, this guy has an indivisible obsession with the hip-hop artist P. Diddy. Why him out of all people? I really couldn't tell you, but this guy clearly wanted to be noticed and went to extreme lengths to get his attention in the most disturbing manner possible. And there you have it. We just dove into 5 more disturbing things from around the internet. Now before you go, I want to present a challenge to you guys. If you have any disturbing things that you know of for part 3 of this series, please submit them to either my subreddit or tweet at me with the hashtag DTFAI. I'll fish through your recommendations and will credit you as a submitter if yours gets chosen. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this second installment of the series. I'm so glad you guys loved the first one, and I can only hope that this one holds a candle to the original. Lastly, I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you all, and good night. Welcome back to Disturbing Things from Around the Internet. If you're new to the series, this is my one-stop shop for disturbing finds that I've come across online. This is part 3, so if you haven't yet, definitely go check out volume 1 and 2 on my channel. Trust me, you won't be let down. Anyway, I hope you guys are strapped in, because today's installment will absolutely be the darkest and most sinister entry to date. It's time, once more, to dive into 5 more hand-picked and disturbing things from the internet. For the past few years, there's been a severe ongoing water crisis in the city of Cape Town, South Africa. In short, the city is slated to be the first major region in the world to run completely out of drinking water, ever. Back in 2015, a drought began, resulting in severe water shortage, and since then, the city has slowly been going through cycles of water recovery and rapid declination with an obvious downward trend. Unfortunately, going by these statistics, a life-threatening problem will inevitably be upon them. Cape Town and its residents are currently bracing for what they're calling a Day Zero, which is essentially when the water reserves in the region become so low that the municipal water supply would become so heavily regulated that citizens would only be allowed a maximum of just 7 gallons of water to live off of per day. The dreaded date, which was designated in October of last year, has been shifted back and forth. It was originally supposed to be April 21st. That was recently changed to April 12th. Then 16th, then May 11th. Luckily, they bought themselves some time due to severe water limitations that have been put in place in the region. Currently, citizens are only allowed 13 gallons of water per day maximum, and various measures, such as water reduction for crops and the patching of massive leaking pipes, have been put in place in an effort to conserve every last drop. The reasons behind this have been debated back and forth, ranging from bad governing, to climate change, to wasteful use by citizens. Unfortunately, little can be done about this massive crisis, and residents have already been rushing to supermarkets to stock up on all the water that they can. It's heartbreaking and completely crazy to watch this happen in the news, and to think about how this would be handled if it were to happen to you, or me. The majority of these people can't just afford to up and move out of the area, and I'm sure that most of us, myself included, wouldn't be able to either. Phenomenon Rum, or by its English translation, Space Phenomenon, is a video that was recommended to me by a user on Twitter. They claim that they found it in the related videos section while watching a video about a French book that they read. After I saw their suggestion, I took a look, because why not? Well, what I saw was pretty surprising, and pretty disturbing. Look at this. Like we established, Phenomenon ROM translates to space phenomenon, and this video seems to be a strange art project about the term. We begin to notice a recurring pattern. Those two words, the date January 1st, 2009, and a few phrases that read 17 UHR, Landworcester, 55, Darmstadt. Now I know I probably butchered those and I apologize. Anyway, it seems that it's trying to tell us, space phenomenon, January 1st, 2009, 5 p.m. in Landworcester and Darmstadt, Germany. Unfortunately, doing any digging on that date in history brought up little to nothing regarding any events involving space exploration or anything of the sort in these German cities. Honestly, the way that they present this video is just strange to me, and really leaves me wondering what the meaning truly is behind all the bizarre imagery and terms that they're throwing at us. The entire channel as a whole is just plain weird. The name is this. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it because I'm just going to butcher it. And they seem to post strange and obscure art style videos that seem to make little to no sense at all. Also, they're in German, so it adds another level of obscurity given that you don't speak the language. All in all, the channel, while old, definitely deserves a look. Their content, much like Space Phenomenon, is filled with secrets that just might have a little more to them than we think. This third entry involves yet another creepy Twitter saga that's been unfolding recently. The Sun Vanished is a very strange Twitter account that went live around 2 weeks ago. The story surrounds a person who's stuck in their house while they document their life as the sun is completely gone, with no signs of coming back. The account tweets daily, and each one seems to add a notable plot point to the story. Since its inception, the Twitter profile has garnered significant attention, and I'd just like to walk you through some of the notable points in this story, since it definitely is intriguing and completely disturbing. The story opens as such. Help. It's late in the morning and it's still dark outside. Where is the sun?
Panic is taking hold on the nation in response to the sudden disappearance of the sun, with violent riots taking place in just about every major city. We are receiving an influx of reports of ransacking and looting from New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Dallas, and Washington, D.C., with hundreds more isolated incidents coming in hourly. The president made a public statement this morning urging people to remain calm and stay in their homes. Meanwhile, experts are claiming this phenomenon to be an event similar to New England's Dark Day in 1780, and that things will return next year.
The power keeps going out and I keep hearing noises outside, sometimes far away, sometimes close. I can't sleep. I think the noises outside are gunshots. I went outside. I saw something out there I can't really explain, but I can show you. Something just flew over my house. I just compared the sound of this video to the sound of the helicopter footage I posted a few days ago. Whatever this was, it was definitely not a helicopter. Thank God, one of my friends is still alive. He just texted me. Now we have another problem. This guy's been standing completely still with his back towards me. I have no idea how long he's been standing there. Whoever was standing outside is gone now. Shit. Someone's screaming outside. I can see a faint light outside my bedroom window. I'm going downstairs to check it out. I'm hearing noises outside again. I swear to God, it sounds like someone's banging on my door, but there's no way in hell I'm going downstairs to check. It got in. I don't know how it got in, but I'm hiding. I'm sorry if I'm gone for a while. I have to stay hidden and keep my phone off. It produces light. I am so sorry. As of writing, this is where the Twitter account stops. I'm sure at the point of publishing this video, there's been quite a lot more that's played out on the account, and I implore you to check it out. If you do go though, just make sure you have the lights on, since we know that the creator of this account most definitely doesn't. Anxiety War is a channel that I've been following for quite a few years now, and I want to talk about his old content. The channel is run by a guy named Zach, and while he hasn't done anything disturbing himself, he's had quite a heavy hand in exposing child predators, vigilante style, through his YouTube channel. Unfortunately, if you head over to Zach's channel today, you'll come to realize that his content has most definitely changed and his direction has taken a complete 180 from his old days of busting child predators online. While this is so, there is one video that he's left up, and it's exactly how all of his old content was when I first found him. If you're curious as to why this channel has gone through a sudden change, the reason is simple. While Zach was successful in putting 7 men in jail through Anxiety War, he was actually sued by 2 of them. This basically threw him into the spotlight for quite a while as he faced these legal battles alongside police scrutiny for taking this subject matter into his own hands. YouTube also cracked down on him, essentially, temporarily, forcing his videos off of the platform and onto his own site, anxietywar.com. Ironically, that URL now redirects you to his YouTube channel with his new content. Anyway, back to the topic of the original Anxiety War. Zach's format was simple. Disguise yourself as an underage girl or boy, go to online sites where predators are rumored to lurk, lure one to you by sweet-talking with them, and after days or even weeks, agree to meet up with them. What the predators don't know though is that the entire thing is being filmed for a YouTube video and that they're not actually meeting up with an underage kid at all. They're meeting up with Zach, who set out to expose them to the world and put them behind bars. Here's a portion of one of his confrontations with what he calls one of the most bizarre predators he's ever encountered.
I could write a book about all the lies and misconceptions that you hear in the media and in the comment section. Or I can encapsulate that all just by sharing one experience I had recently. And that was, someone said that I had become overweight. I've never really been too much in depth with this guy. But I think my experiences with him, what he has done, should be highlighted, unlike some of the other people that I've confronted. Because this guy was the most bizarre predator I've seen. And it was really crazy. I think everyone should see what all this guy has done. And I wanted to emphasize a point that I made in my previous video: how dangerous it is to confront him and how stupid it is, given that there have been real victims.
Right, probably. If he turns right, that's our guy. Oh, dude, he's gonna turn right. It's him. It's him.
What he was doing was he bypassed Taco Bell and he went around the back, and he was combing the area behind Taco Bell. He was going through all these little side streets and stuff. I know the area very well. So I knew what he was doing, and at one point we went right by each other, and then I saw his face, and of course I'm just some 20-year-old in a car, but we bypassed each other. I thought, that's the dude, and I was just so excited. I knew I would see him at Taco Bell. Eventually, I knew eventually he would settle. I knew he had a lot to lose. I feared me saying, hey dude, what you did is sick and wrong, and I know you did this, and I know you did that, etc., etc. I feared talking about that because I didn't want him to react a certain way. So I left it at that. I just said, hey, how you doing? I'll show you the video.
Wow. How's it going?
Yeah.
Where are you going? All right, stay here. Wait, I gotta talk to you. He's leaving. What a loser. He's after the little girl.
I'll link his entire video down below, and it's an incredibly interesting watch to see how this sick individual sent videos and photos to what he thought was an underage girl. Also, if you search the term Anxiety War on YouTube, you can find re-uploads of all of his old content scattered around other channels. Definitely give those a look as well. Anyway, why am I talking about this guy? Well, It seems that after Zach's unfortunate fallout with YouTube and the police, he seemed to spawn a movement across the platform known as the Creep Catchers. These people could be any ordinary person with a camera and a desire to expose creeps much like Zach did, and if you search the term on YouTube, you'll find Creep Catchers videos from all over the world. These guys have taken direct inspiration from Zach and turned it into something that's, while risky and illegal, a very noble cause. This should be setting off a red flag for many of you. Yes, there are creeps all around you, and yes, they could very easily be any everyday person that you might encounter. These predators all have lives and families, and it's evident on their Facebook pages that are usually shown after they're caught. What these guys are doing under all the ordinary Facebook lives and rushes of work and family is truly something dark and disturbing, and it's unbelievably striking how widespread this issue is. These types of people also always have the cookie cutter weren't actually going to pursue the child. Instead, they're going to teach them a lesson and educate them blah blah blah. Creep catchers and anxiety war were on the right track, doing the work that the police wouldn't. While frowned upon in the US, hopefully someday we can create a system where willing civilians and law enforcement are able to work together to catch these creeps that lurk on the same internet that you might hand over to your children every single day. Last week, police were called to the residence of a man living in Phoenix, Arizona to arrest a woman named Jacqueline Claire Ades. Ades was involved in a disturbing stalking incident with the man and allegedly turned violent very quickly. The guy, who's unidentified, apparently met Ades through an online local dating service. Through this, they hit it off quickly and went on only one date. Things began to get weird afterwards though. Ades would begin to endlessly text the man, going as far as to send him upwards of over 65,000 text messages, and he claims that she sent anywhere from 400 to 500 texts per day. Most of these messages were very disturbing, and she made insane claims such as statements saying that she would bathe in his blood and that she wants his body parts. It doesn't even stop there though. She then began to vigorously stalk him, showing up at his place of work and claiming that she was his wife. What finally led to her arrest was when the man was out of the country. She showed up to his home during this time frame, and he was only able to find out due to wireless cameras placed throughout his property. After witnessing her in his house, he called the police, who promptly showed up to find her there. They claimed that in her car that was parked in his driveway was a butcher knife, and she could have very likely had a disturbing intention for having it. She claims that she never intended to hurt the man and is facing intimidating, stalking, and harassment charges. There's another part of this that I'd like to share with you though. Recently, an interview has been released of her from prison where she makes statements that she was in love with him and that nobody quite gets it. Take a look.
When you were with him, did you feel a spark immediately? Talk about how you felt. I felt like I met my soulmate and everything was just the way it was, and I thought we would just do what everybody else did and we would just like get married and everything would be fine, but that's not what happened.
65,000 text messages. That's like
That's
next
it?
level stuff.
To me, it seemed like more.
Seemed like more than 65,000?
To me, yeah. That's
Isn't that kind of excessive?
Love is an excessive thing.
Can you understand why people think this is a little bit out there?
Oh, yeah.
Are you a crazy person?
No.
Tell us, who are you? Like, what do you want?
I'm the person that discovered love, the equation to light. Einstein discovered the equation to light. It's E equals mc squared. To finish that equation, everything we see is made out of light, everything, and the composition of the light that it's made out of.
Jackie, some of those messages don't sound like love, they sound like threats.
When you're finding love, not everything is perfect. This was a journey, and I wanted to apologize because nobody would ever be more sorry.
Would you have really hurt him?
No. I love him. So the rest of the equation is L equals 3.3. L equals 3.3 times E equals mc squared, and that's